I was showing some houses to a couple buyers this afternoon that I'm working with, husband and wife, and we were looking at homes, looked at, I guess, 4 or 5 different homes this afternoon, and they wanted to talk about their credit. So we definitely took some time to visit about their credit after we got through looking at the houses, and they were talking about how confusing it is. And I certainly understand that. There's lots of confusion about credit and credit scores. The main reason is there are so darn many different places that offer credit scores nowadays. You never really know what you're looking at. And there are quite a few different scoring models. So you just never really know what's going to be pertinent to a credit score as far as qualifying for a home loan. But of course, what I told them is what I tell everybody. You never really know what your mortgage credit scores are until you get pre-qualified by the bank or the lender, because this information is not publicly available without having it run through a bank, because they're proprietary models for home loans. So it's important to know that the scores that you're looking at may not be the same thing that you're going to see once the mortgage company pulls your credit report. Sometimes the actual scores are higher, sometimes they're lower, sometimes they're pretty darn close, but you never really know. I had one this week that they thought their scores were 610 because of where they'd seen their scores in several different places. And when we actually got the credit report in, it was 681. So you just don't know. Obviously, 681 is a whole lot better than 610. But it is important to know because interest rates determine a whole lot of things, such as which loan programs you're eligible for. It determines in large part what your actual interest rates are. So sometimes it'll even disqualify you from a loan. So if your loan scores or credit scores are not where you think they are, it can cause you a big problem. So it's very, very important to know what your credit scores are when you start looking. Actually, it's best to know before you start looking. So anyway, if you're not sure what your mortgage credit scores are, and most of us aren't, it's best that you let us help you with that, see what your scores are, because it will go a long ways towards determining what your interest rates will be, what your price range is, which loan programs, whether or not you can get in for the low down or no down financing programs. All these things are determined most of the time by your credit scores. And if your scores are a little bit low, there's things that we can do to help you get your scores up. Sometimes we can get your scores up in as little as 40 days, 45 days or so. Sometimes even faster than that. It all just depends what's holding your scores down. So if it's time that you get serious about looking at the home and you're really ready to get out there and start looking, I suggest we get your mortgage credit reports just as soon as we can. So if we know there's any hiccups on your report that need to be taken care of, we can help you get that taken care of right away, because if you can't get a home loan right now, then you don't want to be spending too much time or certainly any money going in that direction until we get these things worked out. So anyway, if you have any questions about credit, I'm always here to help. I've helped a lot of people with their credit over the last 30 years, and I'll be glad to help you. I just recently helped a buyer get into a home, and I had told him about 7 or 8 months ago the specific steps he needed to take to get his scores up to where they needed to be. And a couple months he called me and said that his scores were over 700 and his scores were under 600 when we started. So if you need some help, I'm here to help you. Just give me a shout. Even if it's just some free advice, I'll be glad to do that too. You can always reach me at 405-210-5319. I'm here to help you in any way that I can, and just give me a shout. Talk to you later. Once again, it's Kyle No with First United Realty, and if there's anything at all I can do to help you become a homeowner, I'm here to do it. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.